Good morning, it's Thursday, November 6th. We certainly have seen a change in the political tide in this country, haven't we? I'm glad to see some of the wins that we've enjoyed in this election. I believe that John Becker, Ken Buck, and Cory Gardner will do us proud, or at least I hope they will. I hope that the conservative values that they have shown and run on will carry through into their daily lives in their new offices. But what the heck is up with our governor's race? I respect the libertarians. Heck, big majority of my political views lean way towards the libertarian agenda. But I have the sense to realize that we live in a two-party system. As much as I'd love to live in a fantasy land where some nobody from nowhere can just pick a name, create a party, run for election, and win, I just don't believe it's possible. And honestly, it isn't. When you think of third-party candidates, what parties come to mind? The Green Party? The Libertarian Party? The Constitution Party? Give me a break. Had you ever even heard of the Constitution Party before Tom Tancredo decided to run with them? Normally, I'd criticize him for that move, but it was a last-ditch effort to make the best of a really bad situation, and I do respect his resolve for the betterment of the people of Colorado. That said, who the heck votes for a third-party candidate? How in the world do you not understand the reality of a spoiler in an election? I respect that the libertarians want to get their message out there, and I know that they think one day their fantasy land will come true. But the reality is the 37,000 or so votes that Matthew Hess received would have made a huge difference in who sits in the governor's seat in Colorado for the next 4 years. To all the libertarians listening, I ask, do you want a governor that limits your freedoms? Do you want a governor that will sign any bill put before him that limits your Second Amendment rights? Do you want a governor that would let a convicted murderer sentenced to death row live to see another day? No? Well, your vote for Matthew Hess has ensured that this is exactly the guy we will be living with. Congratulations, you've made your point. You really showed the world what your 2% vote can do. Unfortunately, what it can really do is screw things up for the rest of us. If the libertarians really wanted change, they would throw their vote behind a viable candidate and then work to reform that party from within. That's what the rest of us have to do, but they like to be big shots just like every other third party and make their statement on the front pages. Their fairy book beliefs are far more important to them than the actual running of the country, or state in this case. The fact that the libertarian candidates either do not understand or at very least do not care what the impact of their candidacy is leads me to believe that they are unfit to govern and therefore will never gain any traction and will never be anything other than spoilers in an election. I think this is really too bad. There are a lot of great ideas coming from the Libertarian Party. Unfortunately, they're so politically radical that they will never be taken seriously. And even more unfortunately, the rest of us are the ones that will pay the price. My name's Charles Hoffman. This has been A Digital Thought.